told me you were angry about are important issues, right? This is not like whether or not, you know, Brad Pitt is married to whoever Brad Pitt is married to. These are actually things that matter, that people's lives count on. So we need to know this. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Let's practice this again, because this gets hard. Someone else give me an issue they were. Okay, because this sounds like a unique issue. So tell me what you were angry about again.
You know, lack of funding for HIV prevention because people have a moral objection to, you know, men who have sex with men or other modes of transmission.
Okay. So you want increased funding for HIV prevention from who? At what level? City, state, federal?
CDC, let's say.
Okay. So who can give that to you?
Only probably someone within the CDC who's like the head of a section of infectious disease prevention or something.
Okay, so whoever sets the budget for the infectious disease prevention programs within the CDC. What's the CDC?
Centers for Disease Control.
Okay. So that would be your target. Do you know who that person is? Okay, it seems unlikely to me that you're going to get what you want until you figure out who that person is. Seems very unlikely to me, right? So we need to be able to figure that out. Tell me your name again. Renee. You're angry about?
I'm angry about the separate and unequal education system here in Chicago and in America.
Okay. So what do you actually want?
What do I actually want?
Yeah. Don't say equality.
That's a good one. I want children in poor districts to have the same level of educational funding that children in richer districts have.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Who can give that to you?
All of the entities that fund education.
Okay. Does that sound like we've got a good target identified?
That's not a who.
It's not a good target, which is one of the reasons we're not going to get it. Right? So if I wanted to do that campaign, right, I would start thinking about who's the primary funder. We just talked about this in the last workshop. So for Illinois, who's supposed to be the primary funder?
No.
The state.
The state.
So it's the state legislature. So who controls that budget? Mike Madigan. Good. If he's your target, you will be closer to getting what you want. Okay? There may be a couple targets. Okay? You may have 3 or 4, but you got to know them, and they have to be people. Okay? When you talk about the man, or Congress, or the system, you are not going to win anything from the system or the Congress. You have to know who the people you're targeting are. And the reason is the next questions. You like that? That was a... Okay. So then you have to ask yourself 2 questions. What does your target want / fear? Who are they in relationship with? Why is it important to know what your target wants and what they fear?
Because they can lose their power.
Yeah. Why else?
So you can use it against them.
You can use it against them or for them. Right? You need to know this if you want them to do this. Right? If you don't know what's going to move this person, well, it's great, but you're certainly not going to get what you want.
It's the gun.
Yeah, what's the gun? Right? If putting a gun to this person's head gets you what you want, what is it? I want to stand back for 1 second, because we organizers, we have a lot of tough talk, and it's good, because we live in an ugly world with powers that be that are more than content to let the people in our communities die because it serves their interest. But I want to make clear that the things you're willing to do here are all a reflection of your values. There are things I will not do. I will not kidnap Mike Madigan's grandchildren. That could probably get me what I want, but I will not do that. That is a fundamental violation of my values. Right? Using violence is something I will not do. It's a tactic I will not employ. Right? So it's important that we recognize that how we use our power is a reflection of our values. But with that said, I want to know this really, really clearly.
So Mike Madigan, what he wants is ultimate power.
Yeah.
He wants to be seen as the guy who controls everything.
Actually, I don't think if he cares how he's seen or not. I think
He
you're
is.
right. He wants power. How does he get his power? What?
By votes,
Whose votes?
by our votes.
Our votes? Do you vote for Mike Madigan?
No.
Do you? Is he on your ballot? Where do you live?
I live downtown.
Okay. Is Mike Madigan on your ballot? Have you early voted yet?
No, I haven't voted yet.
Okay. On November 2nd, is Mike Madigan on your ballot?
I don't know. I haven't seen the ballot.
Someone help her. Is Mike Madigan on your ballot? Do you vote for him?
But he's appointed by the people we vote for.
Coming up for? I don't know what's coming up for. That's after
Okay, this is important, right? Mike Madigan is a member of the House of Representatives of Illinois. Anyone know how many reps there are in the Illinois House? I'm just saying, y'all all here wanting to create change. You have no idea how many people there are in the Illinois House. And you don't even know who elects the most powerful person in Illinois politics. This is problematic, people. How many?
Let's be honest.
How many? It depends on how many districts. I have to remember what district they are.
All right.
How many
I'm gonna give you the answer.
Okay.
There are 118 districts in the Illinois House.
Okay.
Mike Madigan is elected to one of those. Mike Madigan is elected by 1/118th of the voters of Illinois.
What's the situation again?
1/118th. He is one of 118. So how does he become Speaker of the House?
He's voted for by his peers.
By his peers. So when you say Mike Madigan wants power, what does he actually want?
He wants power and he wants to be able to control. He wants control.
But those are all very general, right? We need specific. So
Okay.
one, is Mike Madigan a Democrat or a Republican?
He's Democrat.
Democrat. So the Democrats in the House put him in his position.
Right. And they are the ones that can control what he does. But they,
Good.
they don't vote for him.
Right. So stay with us. So what does he want? He wants two things. He wants a bigger majority, right? He wants more people in his caucus,
Right.
and he wants tighter control over his majority.
Right.
Everything Mike Madigan does, when people are trying to figure this out, I never understand why they're confused. If you understand that those are the two things Mike Madigan wants, absolutely everything he does makes perfect sense. The reason we don't have a fair budget in Illinois with new revenue so we could actually pay for things like feeding hungry people and educating our children is because Mike Madigan has a lot of reps in suburban districts that are against the tax increase, and he knew that if he had them vote for this, the Republicans would come at them.
Right.
He wants tight control over his majority and a big majority.
Right.
Everything he does makes absolute sense. You will understand how your person acts and how they'll respond if you get this.
For him.
If you don't, people, this is what drives me crazy. People are always going to Madigan talking about what's morally right. I have seen no indication that Mike Madigan cares. People go to Mayor Daley talking about human rights. Housing is a human right. I have seen no indication that Mayor Daley cares about human rights.
Right.
You are talking to them about what you want.
Right.
That won't move them. You need to understand what they want and what they fear. So if you want to move Mike Madigan, right, you better be able to influence what he wants and impact what he
Well, you have
fears.
to work on the paid representatives.
Yeah, if I can convince Mike Madigan that if he doesn't vote the way I want him to do, I can take away 10 of his House reps, will I get what I want from him? Yes.
You don't get what you want.
Exactly.
Don't vote for him and have a representative not vote for him.
There you go. If I could convince him that, and they almost did this, but then they lost their guts. If the Black Caucus in the Illinois House, because they knew how important this issue was, says, we will not vote for you for Speaker if we don't get this,
Right.
you might be able to move
He
something.
And so they lost their coronas on that.
They did. But they also